Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube. Major number 6 coming to you today from ABC East Lanes, the greater Harrisburg area. Today we were bowling on PJBT major pattern number 7, 42 feet of oil. You could check out the at least shape of the pattern on our website, www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. There'll be a link there. You can also Google it, and you can find it, that page as well. So we are getting ready for the finals, as always, with our majors. We put in the gold pins, and we re-oil the lanes. Top 6 made it to the final today. So there'll be 2 shootout matches, 6, 5, and 4. We'll bowl 1 game. Winner bowls 2 and 3. Winner bowls our top seed. So our top seed today is guaranteed to finish no worse than second, as if it were a regular stepladder. And today our top seeds are in the scratch division. That would be Parker Lobach at plus 130. He was very surprised that he was the top seed. I heard him tell his dad after the final game that he had lost the top seed. He was the top seed going into that game. In handicap, I believe it's pronounced Ayla Harris. We'll find that out. At plus 169. Your other seeds in scratch, the second seed is Darren Zombro III. Third seed, Ryan Miscavige. Fourth seed, Brandon Bone. Fifth seed, Ambrose Shirk. And your sixth seed, Jordan Shell. Handicap, your number 2 seed was Jacob Brashear. Third seed, Austin Knepp, maybe. Fourth seed, Sidney Kleckner. Fifth seed, Chaz Evenson. Sixth seed, Stephen Schaff. So once the lanes are ready, we will have player introductions. As always, our message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in. Let me know what you're doing on this beautiful, warm, sunny, but windy Sunday afternoon. Looking ahead, next week is an off week for the regular series of the PJBT, but we do have a girls-only tournament up in Town and Country, up in the Bethlehem area. That's next Sunday, the 19th, 10:30 start time. Then we get back at it, the regular tour, Sunday the 26th, at Trindle Bowl for an under 21 doubles. Don't forget, if you want a deposit, you can put down a deposit to get a discount on your entry fee. That discount will need to be paid by midnight next Sunday. You can put down a $20 deposit at our website, www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. The following week, Super Bowl Sunday, we have our typical Super Bowl Sunday major from 222 Dutch Lanes. Usually that's also the kickoff of the second half of our season. Sunday, September 2nd at 10:30. The following week, we have 2 tournaments. The first one is a schedule change. It is the rescheduled girls-only invitational. $500 top prize that is moved from February 1st to February the 8th. So mark that down on your calendar. Sunday, February the 8th from East Lincoln Lanes. Saturday, February the 8th. And then Our next adult junior tournament, Sunday, February the 9th, from Midway Lanes out in Carlisle. Nice little bowling center out that way. Usually get some pretty high scores out there. Dylan, you could reserve your spot for any tournament that the PJBT has just by putting down a $20 deposit at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. You put your 20 bucks in, you have a spot reserved. Speaking of, for the adult junior on the 9th, you would want to put down a deposit for that as well. What constitutes whether you are bowling adult or whether you bowl junior? It's what your sanctioning is. If you are sanctioned adult, you bowl adult. If you are sanctioned junior, you bowl junior. Any typical under 21 doubles, it does not matter if you're sanctioned adult or junior as long as you are under 21. In other words, not aged out for PJBT purposes. All right, looks like we're about a couple minutes away from player introductions. Watching the continual upsets in the AFC playoffs. Houston up 21 early in the second quarter, and they're driving. All right, looks like we're done. And Matthew is giving me the "Are you ready?" look. I am ready, Matthew. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Take it away.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to ABC East Lanes for our sixth major of the PJBT's 21st season. We are about to have our two shootouts and one step ladder match to determine our champion for today. Time to introduce our top six in each division. Starting with the scratch division, our number 6 seed from Lancaster, PA, Jordan Shell.
All right, in the scratch division, your number 6 seed from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Jordan Shell.
The first shootout, our number 5 seed from Fredericksburg, PA, Ambrose Shirk.
From Fredericksburg, PA, your number 5 seed, Ambrose Shirk.
And also competing in our first shootout, our number 4 seed from Jackson, New Jersey, Brandon Bowe.
From Jackson, New Jersey, Brandon Bone is your 4 seed. Those are the participants in the first shootout.
Will advance to shootout number 2 to take on our number 3 seed from Du Bois, PA, Ryan Miscavige.
Ryan Miscavige is your number 3 seed.
And also bowling in the second shootout, our number 2 seed from Lebanon, PA, Darren Zombro III.
Darren Zombro III, your number 2 seed from Lebanon.
Winner of that shootout, second shootout, will take on our tournament leader at plus 130 for 9 games from Bethlehem, PA, Parker Long.
And your top seed from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Parker Lobach.
All right, now it is time to introduce our 6 handicap finalists. Our number 6 seed from Blackwood, New Jersey, Stephen
Steven
Schaff.
Schaff from, I think I heard Blackwood, New Jersey is your 6th seed.
Our number 5 seed from Lancaster, PA,
Chaz
Chaz Evenson.
Evenson, your number 5 seed from Lancaster.
And our third bowler for the first shootout, our number 4 seed from Harrisburg, PA,
Sydney
Sydney Kleckner.
Kleckner from Harrisburg is your number 4 seed. Those are your participants in shootout number 1.
Shootout number 2, take on our number 3 seed from Harrisburg, PA, Austin Knapp.
Austin Knepp from Harrisburg, your number 3 seed.
And also competing in the second shootout, our number 2 seed from Martin, Maryland, Jacob Brazier.
Jacob Brazier from Martin, Maryland, I believe I heard.
And the winner of the second shootout will take on our tournament leader at plus 169 for 9 games from Claymont, Delaware, Ayla Harris.
Ayla Harris from Claymont, I believe I heard, Delaware.
For our 6 handicap finalists.
All right, those are your finalists for the handicap division. Okay, so once again, match number 1 will be a shootout between the 4, 5, and 6 seeds. Scratch will be on 5 and 6. Handicap will be on 7 and 8. The winner of those 2 matches will take on the number 2 and number 3 seeds. They will flip sides. Scratch will be on 7 and 8. Handicap will be on 5 and 6. And the winner of shootout number 2 will go on to take the lanes against our top seeds. They will flip once again. Scratch will be back on 5 and 6. Handicap will be on 7 and 8. As always, we are bowling on our gold pins, which we do each and every major finals here on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. As always, once again, message board live and operational should you wish to chime in. Dylan, to answer your question, as long as you put in a deposit, you are reserved. Is reservations mandatory? Definitely not for singles events. For doubles events, I would put in a deposit and pay a reservation just to be sure, because we do have some doubles events that get pretty close to selling out, and I wouldn't want to see you miss. I've never seen a singles event sell out in the 8 years now that I've been coming to these things. All right, so as soon as we get the lanes turned on for practice, we'll get underway. I can tell you on the handicap side, Steven will be getting 25 pins, Chaz will be getting 32, Sydney will be getting 74. So let's take a look at who may have bowled good on the fresh in the 4, 5, 6 on the scratch side. Well, not Jordan Shell. He went 177, 178, 176. Ambrose went 206, 246, 248. Brandon went 172, 211, 239. Handicap side, Steven went 198, 179, 196 scratch, and he's getting 25 pins, so that's pretty good. Chaz went 197, 148, 131, so a little mixed reviews for him. Sydney went 136, 105, 143, but don't forget she was getting 74 pins. So, who's going to advance? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's get some scoreboards up here. Touchdown, Kansas City. It's never too early to start thinking about making sure you have enough participation points to make it to the automatic invite for championship weekend. If you've been lagging behind on bowling some of our events, you want to start getting to some of them so you can have the required participation points to get the automatic invite. Participation points, you get 1 point per event that you bowl. If you bowl in majors, you get 2 points. So everybody that bowled today received 2 participation points. All right, looks like practice is pretty much done. All right. Machines are recycling the pins. And away we go. Looks like Brandon Bone will be starting us off on lane 5. Steven Schaff will be starting us out on 7. Jordan Schell on 6. Sydney Kleckner on 8. Brandon starts out with a strike. You got your headset on, Matthew.
I do now.
Okay.
Yes. I was making sure I was turned on. Hello, everybody. So once again, this is the first shootout of 2 shootouts and 1 stepladder for today's major final. They are bowling on the fresh pattern number 7, which I believe you said was 42 feet in length. And we do have the gold pins in today for our major final. So we are off and running. Shirk and Shell, everybody on scratch side starts with a strike. Handicap side, Schaff started with 9 miss. And Kleckner opened with 7 spare. First shot coming up for Chaz Evenson on lane 7. And a pretty good shot. Back on the scratch side, Brandon Bone comes up a little high, leaves a 6 pin. And Steven Schaff with a strike for frame 2. So good recovery after the open. Sydney Kleckner leaves the Greek Church. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. She'll look to get some count. And a double for Chaz Evenson on the handicap side, so he's off to the early start. Scratch side starts with strike spare for the first 2 bowlers. See what Ambrose can do. With a strike, he can take the early lead with a double. And he trips out the 4 and the 9 for the double. Handicap bowlers move to the 3rd frame. Schaff comes up a little bit light, leaving the 2-4. And Sydney Kleckner also comes up light. She just leaves a 2 pin. I'll let you take the scratch side because it's with 3 bowlers on a side, it's a little bit much here.
All right.
Good spare there for Schaff. It's pretty complicated keeping up with 4. Now we have 6 bowlers.
Jordan Schell up, lane 6, frame 3. Working off strike spare. 10 back. Good shot there by Jordan.
Matches Brandon.
Ambrose working on a double. He did not like that shot at all, and this time he does pay the price with the 4-9.
That almost looked like the same shot as the last frame, except it didn't trip out the 4 and the 9. So, and on the handicap side, Chaz Stevenson comes up high, and he leaves the 4, 6, 7. And a 4th frame strike for Steven Schatz.
Ambrose doesn't get either of the 4-9. We'll see if those 2 pins come back and cost them. Brandon Bone now up. Frame number 4, working off of a strike.
On the handicap side, Evenson gets 1 pin. He has 53 in the 3rd. Right now, Sydney Kleckner holds the lead with her handicap, but it is early in the match. She's up for the 4th frame.
Brandon came in high, just like he did the last time he was over there, left a 6 pin.
Sydney gets her first strike of the match. And now Chaz is up on lane 8, looking to recover after the open frame.
Jordan Shell to take the lead. 10 pin, week 10.
Evenson on handicap side comes up high, leaving the 3-6.
Bone converts, he's clean through 4.
Shaft comes up a little bit light for frame 5 on the handicap side, leaving the 2-4-5. He'll look to convert a spare.
Shell does not make his 10 pin.
Good spare there for Chaz Stevenson.
Ambrose now up. His 4th frame, working off of an open 4-9 split. Didn't like that shot either. Washout. 1, 2, 4, 10.
Shot looks very specific. What I mean by that is you can't miss out, you can't miss in. There's a very specific line you got to play, and you got to be accurate with it.
Brandon Bone had the 6-8, and he didn't have the 6-8.
And he had nothing.
And he had nothing except an X. Ambrose wraps the 1 around the 10. That's back-to-back opens for him.
And that will give Brandon Bone the lead at the moment. Back to the handicap side. Chaz Stevenson gets a nice strike, his 3rd strike of the match. He has the highest scratch game going at the moment. Sydney Kleckner leaves the 2-5, not able to convert her spare. She'll have 68 in the 5th, 142 with her handicap. So right now, Kleckner maintains the lead in the match.
Jordan Shell catches a break in the 6th. He crossed over.
And a messenger strike for Steven Schaff, as he had the 10 pin, but a messenger took out the 10 for his 3rd strike of the match. Sydney misses the head pin, leaves the 1-2.
Much better shot there for Ambrose. So all bowlers on the scratch side struck in the 5th. Brandon Bone with a 12-pin lead over Jordan Shell and a 17-pin lead over Ambrose Sherman. See if Brandon can make a small adjustment on this lane, get the 6-pin out. He actually came in higher that time, 2-4-7.
And on the handicap side, Sydney Kleckner not able to convert her spare. Back-to-back opens for her. Chaz Evenson leaves the 1-3-8-9. He's going to look to convert the spare.
Waiting in the wings on the scratch side for the next match, your number 3 seed, Ryan Miscavige, and your number 2 seed, Darren Zombro. I.
And on my side, on the handicap side, number 2 seed Jacob Brazier and number 3 seed Austin Nett are waiting for the winner of this first match.
Jordan Shell with a double. Shot was a little better than his last time. Good spare there by Bone. He remains clean. Dutch 200 pace. He's going to have to figure out something on that right lane. He's going to have to finish on that lane.
Chaz Evenson missed his spare, so 101 in the 6th with his handicap, 133. And Steven Schaff with his first double of the match. Sydney Kleckner leaving a 10 pin.
Solid 10 for Ambrose.
Pretty good shot. Thought he liked it. Had more direct angle from the outside. Evenson on lane 7 goes a little wide, leaves the 1-2. So after an open, he'll look to pick up his spare, 1-2-8 rather. And Sydney Kleckner picks up her spare.
First team to 60 in the Houston, Kansas City game.
Craziness.
Fumble on the special teams galore was going on today.
Shirk just missed his spare. And Bone made his spare. And back on the handicap side, Evenson looking to pick up his spare. And he gets it. The unconventional way, but he gets it.
Brandon Bone made his spare in the 7th on the scratch side. Now Jordan Shell could take the lead. If he strikes at one point or another, all of these scratch bowlers will have had the lead in this match.
Steven Schaff on the handicap side goes light, leaving the 2-5. And look to pick up his spare.
And he leaves a 10 pin.
Once again, just a reminder for our bowlers out there who have never seen the gold pins before, these pins are a little bit heavier than your normal pin by about 0.4 ounces. So sometimes it takes a little bit more to knock them down, and that's the uniqueness of our major finals for today. Schaff picks up his spare.
Ambrose with a strike. He had missed his 10 pin in frame number 6.
Sydney Kleckner on the handicap side makes her spare. That will maintain her small lead over Steven Schaff as we enter frame number 8.
Shell makes his 10 pin. So after 7 frames here on the scratch side, Brandon Bone with a 2-pin lead over Jordan Shell and a 28-pin lead over Ambrose. But Ambrose is on a strike, so he could cut it to 18 with a strike in the 8th. Touchdown, Kansas City. Six pin for Bone. Still hasn't struck on that lane.
Schaff crosses over in frame number 9. Fortunate just to leave the 6 pin. He'll look to pick up the spare and try to keep up with the leader, Sydney Kleckner.
Jordan Shell came in high, 4-7.
For Chaz Evenson, he picks up his 5 spare. So he still has a chance in the match. Hanging in there. Schaff Schaff able to make his spare. That's a big spare for the 9th frame. See if Sidney Kleckner can match him.
Jordan Shell makes his 4-7. All right, so if Ambrose is going to climb his way back in the match, he's going to need to strike here. He could still strike out for 2-11.
On the handicap side, Sidney Kleckner leaves a 10 pin, so she'll look to pick up her spare here. It's a good shot there for Chaz Evenson as he tries to hang in the match. And Sidney makes her spare, so Sidney will maintain the lead in the match as they head toward the 10th frame.
Ambrose probably with his best shot of the match there. He's now on a double. He stays right in there. Bowen with a strike in the 9th. He could still strike out for 2-18. So he's in the driver's seat. He will take the lead into the 10th no matter what. But he has yet to strike on lane 6.
On the handicap side, Steven Schaff, the first one up in the 10th frame. Oh, and he goes light, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 10. So that's going to be an important conversion for him.
With a strike here for Shell, he will only be 3 pins behind Bone.
Schaff only gets 2. He'll finish with 180 scratch. 205 will be his score on the scoreboard.
Shell did get the messenger. 10 pin for Ambrose. That's going to hurt.
And a 8-10 pocket split for Sidney Kleckner. So she will look to get 1. 1 will give her 140 scratch and 214 handicap. That will give her the lead in the match. And it comes down to what Chaz Evenson can do.
Brandon Bone struck his first ball in the 10th. That's going to shut out Ambrose. Now he is looking for 1 more strike and good count to move on.
Sidney Kleckner gets 1. She shoots 140 with her handicap 214, takes the lead, and it looks to be that she will shut both of her opponents out. So Sidney Kleckner will be moving on in the handicap division from our first shootout. Kleckner with a score of 214.
Brandon came in a little high. Definitely missed a little inside. That opens the door for Jordan Shell. His 7 count wasn't the greatest either.
Okay, so that's going to finish our match on the handicap side as Chaz missed his spare. He shoots 194 with his handicap. And Sidney Kleckner is our winner, 214 to 205 for Schaff to 194 for Evenson. Okay, I'll be back for shootout number 2 in a little bit.
Jordan needs this strike. Oh, and he leaves a 7 pin. Now the best he could shoot is 195. Brandon Bone is already in the 200s. The best best Amber shirt could do is 190. So Brandon Bone will be moving on the scratch side. right, 204 for Bone, 189 for Shirk, 183 for Shell. That just goes to show you that you need to make your makeables. Either Shell or Shirk would have moved on if they had made all their makeables. Zach, you got to move.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes game number 1 of our first shootout for today's finals. Finishing in 6th place in the scratch division, getting a $40 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Jordan Shell.
Jordan Shell, your 6th place finisher in the handicap division.
And our 5th place finisher in the scratch division, getting a $40 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to
Ambrose
Ambrose Shirk.
Shirk, 5th place in the scratch division.
Okay, our 6th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $40 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to Chaz Evenson.
Chaz Evenson, 6th place in handicap today.
And our 5th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $40 scholarship, certificate, and award goes to
Steven
Steven Schack.
Schaff, 5th place in handicap.
All right, switch sides on to our second shootout.
All right, so let's go over our schedule once again for those of you that may not have been with us when we started. Next week, the regular tour has an off week, but there will be a girls-only event next Sunday, January 19th. Girls-only tournament, Town and Country Lanes, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. 10:30 start time on a rec pattern. The following week, under 21 at Trindle in Mechanicsburg, Sunday, January 26th. 10:30 start time. If you want to get the discount on that entry, you have to put down a deposit by midnight next Sunday at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. $20 gets you the discount. The following week, Sunday, February 2nd, is our traditional Super Bowl Sunday Major from 222 Dutch, the unofficial kickoff of the second half of the PJBT season. And the following week, Saturday, February the 8th, we are at East Lincoln Lanes for the Girls Only Invitational. If you have bowled some of the girls' events, if you've accumulated enough points, you get automatically invited to the Invitational. If you haven't bowled in any yet or don't think you have enough points, make sure you get to the Girls Only Tournament next weekend at Town & Country. Invitational is Saturday, February the 8th, East Lincoln Lanes. I believe it's a 2:30 start time. The following day, Sunday the 9th, Adult Junior Tournament number 4 at Midway Lanes in Carlisle. Once again, if you would like a discount for that tournament, you have to put down a deposit by midnight Sunday the 2nd. Sunday the 16th is the regular season event back at East Lincoln Lanes, Sunday the 16th. Then we round out February with the first annual Steve Brown Memorial Tournament at Palmyra Bowling Center. That will be on a challenge pattern at Sunday, February the 23rd. We will have information on that tournament posted shortly on both our PJBT website at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com, or you could check out our YouTube page. Just search PJBT Youth Information page on Facebook. That's where we post all the comings and goings of the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. For those of you, if this is your first time joining us here on YouTube, first off, what's kept you? Secondly, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. If you have your notifications enabled, you will get notified each and every time we go live. You can hear my voice every week. Isn't that a blessing? Not really. As always, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know what you're doing on this beautiful Sunday. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch us. All right, this time handicap is going to be on lanes 5 and 6. Scratch will be on 7 and 8. Once again, Sydney gets 74 pins. Jacob gets 44, and Austin gets 29. Scratch side, you got Brandon Bone, the winner of the last match. Incoming now is Darren Zombro III and Ryan Miscavige. The winners of this shootout on the scratch side will be taking on top seed Parker Lobach, and on the handicap side, Ayla Harris. Take it away, Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin shootout number 2 of the final. On the scratch side, we have number 2 seed, Aaron Zelbro III, number 3 seed, Ryan Miscavige, and number 4 seed, Brandon Bone. The winner of this shootout will advance to the title match. Okay? On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed, Jacob Rogier, number 3 seed, Austin Neff, and number 4 seed, Sydney West. The winner will also advance to the title
All right, and away we go. Looks like Darren Zombro will be starting us off on lane 7. And he goes 10 back. Brandon Bone up. 6 pin. Sydney. 1-2. Austin. 3 pin. Ryan. 4, 6, 10. Sydney does not make her spare.
Okay, back to the action.
Brandon made his spare. First look at Jacob. 4, 6. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Well, on the scratch side, Darren Zombro's off to a quick start with a double. On the handicap side, we have Sydney Kleckner starting with 8 miss, and she has the 1-3 that she's looking to convert. Jacob Bragier also started with 8 miss with the split. And Austin Knepp started with 9 spare. And a spare there for Kleckner, first spare of this game. And a late faller strike for Austin Knepp. So he starts with spare strike.
Brandon Bone makes back-to-back 6 pins to start his match.
Jacob Brazier totally missing his mark there on the second frame, just getting 1 pin. So he'll look to clean that up. In the meantime, Sydney Kleckner goes a little bit to the right of the head pin and leaves the very common 1-2-4-8.
Brian starts off back-to-back splits.
And Bragier is able to clean it up. So being he was not on an open, 1 spare, it doesn't hurt him at all. It's in there, but 74 Sydney, 29 Austin, and 44 Jacob. And a good shot there for Austin Knepp. So Knepp off to a good start with a spare and a double.
Brandon Bone leaves the 7-8. Speaking of, you had said something last week on the live stream that you had a few weeks off now on bowling. How did you do this week? Did you do all right? Or nothing to write home about?
Well, first of all, it snowed, so we barely got to bowling. Second of all, I recall I had like 650. So nothing bad, nothing great. However, our team, on the other hand, did not bowl so well. We got 0-4.
Ah.
So we'll look to recover this week.
Absolutely.
Okay, so back in the handicap action, Sydney Kleckner leaves the 1-2-4 in frame 4, so 41 in the third, plus she'll look to spare it up. Jacob Brazier gets a 3 count. And Kleckner not able to convert her spare. She gets 1. And Brazier not able to cover his up either. So 49 in the fourth for Sidney Kleckner, 30 in the third for Jacob Regier. So clearly Kyle Knepp has the lead in the match with the spare and double at the moment.
And Darren Zombro the third, front four on the scratch side. Better shot there for Bone. He's clean through four. He did make his 7-8 in the third.
Regier leaves the 1-3-9. He'll look to convert his spare. And Austin Knepp keeps the board clean with a spare. So Austin Knepp off to the early lead. Certainly has the high scratch score at the moment. Okay, Sidney Kleckner up in frame number 5. She goes right through the heart and leaves the 7-pin. So she'll look to convert that spare.
Ryan, that's his third open in 4 frames. He's definitely a little bit lost on that pair. He hasn't thrown anything higher than a 7 count in his 4 frames. But Zombro, oh, that's his first miss of the game. He comes in high, leaves a 3-6.
And on the handicap side, Austin Knepp with another big strike. He's at 89 in the fourth with a strike. Clearly has the lead in the match. Brandon Bone just spun around, and that's what his pins did. Spin around and took out a 4-7 messenger for a strike.
Zombro with a spare.
Kleckner comes up through the heart, leaves the 4-6-10. She'll look to convert her spare. And Jacob Regier gets his second spare of the match by converting the 6-pin. Again, the winners of these shootouts are waiting for our tournament leaders in the title match. It'll be Parker Laubach on the scratch division side and Ayla Harris from Claymont, Delaware on the handicap side.
Miscavige gets his first strike of the match.
Austin Knepp with another strike. So Austin Knepp starts with spare, double, through 6 frames to maintain the lead in the match. And Jacob Regier leaves the ever-popular head pin.
See that a lot. Brandon Bone with a triple. He puts himself right back in this match.
And on the handicap side, Sidney Kleckner only gets 1. She had 65 in the 6th. She gets 1. Jacob Regier able to convert his spares. That gives him the 3rd spare of the match. Clearly right now, Austin Knepp in control. Kleckner now stands at 72 in the 7th. Knepp up in the 7th, and he strikes, making it 3 in a row. So Austin Knepp really on a roll right now.
So on the scratch side, you got Zombro with an 11-pin lead over Bone and a just watching out of Ryan.
Yes, Ryan unfortunately just cannot get lined up, so that match has really become a 2-person battle. There's a strike for Sidney Kleckner, first strike of the match. And Regier able to convert his 5-pin. That way he doesn't have to buy anybody drinks.
Zombro came in a little light, left the 2-4. This is Bone's chance to cut the lead to single digits. And he does. He takes out the 4-6.
Well, that would have been a great replay shot. Came
Yes.
in just high flush, tripped out the 4, the 6, and the 7. So great shot there for him.
Wow.
Back on the handicap side, we have Austin Knepp, who leaves a 2-pin, comes up just a little bit light. He'll look to keep the board clean.
Zombro did not make his spare, so Bone does take the lead.
And Knepp not able to convert his spare. First open of the match for him, but 176 in the 8th. He's already at 205 with his handicap. So he does have the lead in the match. Good shot there for Ryan Mitscavige.
Yes, took out the 4-9.
Spare for Jacob Rogier on the handicap side. Here comes Sydney off her strike. She gets a 7 count.
Zombro looking to rebound. He does not. 4-6-7. Now, strike here by Bone in the 8th. He could really jump out to a sizable lead here rather quickly. He comes in high.
Back on the handicap side, Austin Knepp with a messenger that does not take out the 10, so he leaves the 10 pin. Sydney Kleckner gets 2, so she will have 100 in the 9th, so she's at 174, so she can max out at 204. Austin Knepp already ahead of that pace, so she has been eliminated, and Austin misses his spare, but Austin has such a cushion in the match that it looks that Austin Knepp will be moving on to the title match to take on Ayla Harris.
All right, Bone did convert his spare. He's got a 20-pin lead over Zombro with 2 frames to go. 6-pin for Darren. He was like he was a little off balance at the line.
And a strike for Sydney Kleckner, so Sydney does put up a double in the 10th frame. And a 10-pin for Austin Knepp, but Austin cushioned himself from the first half of the game. Last shot here for Sydney Kleckner. Sydney gets a 3 count. She'll post a score of 123. With her handicap, that'll be 197. 197, Sydney Kleckner's game.
Bone left a 3-pin in the 9th, so with this spare, he will have a 19-pin lead.
Miss spare for Austin Knepp, but 194 scratch, so he shoots 223. And he will move on to the finals.
Brandon makes his spare, so Zombro strikes out. He can strike out for 215. So Bone would just need a mark.
Rogier makes his spare. You can shoot 137 scratch. Put him in 4th place finishing position today.
A 7-pin for Zombro. That's pretty much going to end that. Bone will just need officially 6 pins. And And he gets it, and Brandon continues to climb the ladder. He will go up against our tournament leader, Parker Lobach, in the finals.
Okay, and in our handicap match, our winner is Austin Knepp with 223. Sidney Kleckner finishes with 197, and Jacob Regier with 180. Okay, so I will prepare awards and be back for the title match.
So Brandon Bones shoots 221, Zombro at 203, and Ryan just finishing out here. Ryan just couldn't get it going in this match. But we'll finish a respectable 4th place.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our second shootout for today's finals. Finishing in 4th in the scratch division, getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Ryan Miscavige.
Ryan Miscavige, 4th place today.
And our 3rd place finisher in the scratch division, getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Darren Zombro III.
Darren Zombro III, 3rd place today.
Our 4th place finisher in the handicap division, getting a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Jacob Bragier.
Jacob Bragier, your 4th place in scratch, our handicap.
And our 3rd place finisher receiving a $75 scholarship. Certificate and award goes to Sidney Kleckner.
Sidney Kleckner, 3rd place in handicap today. Good bowling by all.
All right, on to our title matches.
Tournament leaders in the scratch, Parker Lobach. In handicap, Ayla Harris. Wow, maybe you guys should do some type of drinking game or something. Like every time I say all right or okay, since I seem to say it a lot, take a drink of your favorite, I don't know, iced tea product or lemonade. Looks like Ayla's going to be getting 13 pins from Austin. Scratch moves back over to 5 and 6. Handicap goes to 7 and 8. All right, and away we go. The lower seed, Brandon Bone, will be starting. That means he will finish last, and Ayla Harris will be starting on the handicap side. Brandon starts out with a strike. Ayla with the 7 count, left the 3-6-10.
Ayla gets 2.
Should be a couple good finals.
Yep. Both matches.
$10 for Parker.
And a strike for Austin Knepp to start his title match. So Austin gets the first strike.
Parker makes his spare.
$10 there for Austin Knepp in the second frame. Austin giving up 13 pins in this match. Austin converts his spare, so starts with strike spare in the title match against Ayla.
$2-4-5 for Parker.
Ball looked like it was going to finish, and then it just stopped. Might have to make a little bit of a angle adjustment. Meanwhile, on the handicap side, Ayla Harris goes to the Jersey side, but she leaves the 10 pin, so she'll look to convert a spare.
Uh-oh.
Parker not happy with that one off his hand. He knew it.
Sure did.
And Ayla converts her spare. So Ayla starts with open 9, but spare in the second.
And a double for Bone, taking advantage of his opponent's miscues. To build an early 25-pin advantage.
Ayla Harris crosses over for the second straight frame, this time just leaving the 5 pin. So she'll look to convert the spare.
6-pin for Brandon. So no 300s today. 300 pot carries over.
Carries over. $231 will carry over to Trindle Bowl in 2 weeks. And that will be a recreational pattern in 2 weeks at our next event, our double 21 and under doubles event. So come on out and join us. We'll be back here in the Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg area at Trindle Bowl in 2 weeks. Austin Knepp comes up a little bit high, leaving the 3 pin. He'll look to convert his spare and keep the board clean. That was a nice shot.
Yes.
Parker Laubach.
He seems to be rolling the ball off of his hands more these days. That will serve him well when he gets to college bowling.
Good spare there for Austin Knepp. So at the moment, a 2-pin lead for Ayla Harris through 3 frames with the handicap built in. 2-pin lead for Ayla through 3. Fourth frame. Austin comes up with high, leaving the 6-10.
Parker got that one inside. 2-4-5, just like he left in the second frame.
Seems like that lane has a little bit more push. Even though he missed in, the ball seems to not want to set. He'll probably have to change his angle a little bit on that lane, maybe move a little bit right.
And this time he went straight at the spare, where, whoa. In frame 2, he tried to hook into the spare.
Ayla missed her target there on that shot, going left of the head pin, but she does leave a makeable spare, the 1-3.
And Brandon's third strike in 4 frames. Maintains a 24-pin lead, could extend it to 34 with a strike in the 5th.
Ayla picks up her spare. So after 4 frames, she still has a 2-pin lead in the match.
Oh, 7-pin for Brandon. Good shot.
Next shot for Ayla. Almost left the 4-5-7, but she was fortunate to trip out the 4 and the 7 to get a good count and an easy spare, the 5-pin.
Brandon makes his 7-pin. All right, let's see if Parker can put a couple strikes up on the board here.
And Ayla Harris able to pick up her spare, 65 in the 4th with a spare. She's got open and 4 spares to start the title match.
Ted Finn for Parker.
And on the handicap side, Austin Knepp comes up a little bit high, leaves the 4-pin. So once again, with a spare, he will continue to trail the match by 2 pins. 2-pin difference. Good spare there. So Austin trails by 2 as we are halfway through the title match on the handicap side.
10-pin conversion for Parker. All right, let's see what adjustment he can make on lane 5.
And Austin Knepp for frame number 6 comes up high, leaving the 3-6. So he will look to convert. Is able to convert a spare. And there's a better shot for Parker.
Yes.
First strike on the left lane.
That ball was a good 2 to 3 boards right than it was his last shot over there.
He can still max out at 234. His opponent still on a 239 pace, so still got a good match going on there. Back on the handicap side, we have Ayla Harris. Up on frame 6. She leaves a 4-7 with a spare conversion. That number just continues not to move. It'll be 2-pin lead as they keep matching each other shot for shot. Both bowlers have gone 9 spare, 9 spare, 8 spare, 9 spare, and potentially 8 spare here for the last 5 frames. Oh, but Ayla misses the 4-7. And that will open the door and give the lead of the match to Austin.
And Brandon makes his 7 pins, so back-to-back 7 pins for Brandon. He still maintains a 24-pin lead, but Parker is on a strike. So Chance Parker cuts into the lead in his next shot. But first, Brandon is up 7th frame. Championship match, major number 6, Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour, ABC East. Better shot there by Brandon.
And on the handicap side, Ayla Smith gets her first strike of the match. She comes off the open with a strike, so 92 in the 6th with a strike. Stepping back up now is Austin Knepp. Looks a little wide at target, and he does. He breaks through the heart, leaving the 1, 2, 6, 10. Certainly a makeable spare. He'll look to clean that up.
All right, big shot here for Parker, looking to double. Frame 7, this gets him right back in the match. Gave it some room, and he gets it.
Knepp gets 2, so Knepp will have 118 in the 7th. So that will give the lead back to Ayla momentarily as they start frame number 8 on the handicap side. But Austin follows up the open with a strike. So good shot. So Austin Knepp can still max out for a 208. His opponent, Ayla Harris, she can max out for the 212 scratch and with her handicap 225. So 225, 208 is the score right now. If she does not strike here, she gets an 8 count.
Same thing, 2, 4, 5. Definitely a hang spot on that left lane.
Yeah, it certainly seems like his ball gets to the where he wants it, and the ball just doesn't finish. Yet on lane 6, it actually does finish. So a little bit tighter on Ayla, not able to convert her spare. So that's a second open for her on the right lane. So now she has 120 in the 8th, so she can max out at 180 with her handicap 193. So she cannot shut out her opponent at the moment, as Austin can shoot 208. So we'll see what happens here as we start the 9th.
All right, couple strikes here from Brandon will go a long way to sewing up the match.
And Ayla gets a strike. So 2 strikes on the left lane for Ayla, 2 opens on the right lane for the last 4 frames.
That's a double for Bone.
And Austin Knepp comes up a little bit light, leaving the 2-pin. So now he cannot shut out his opponent.
So with a strike here, interesting, lane 6 just went dark.
Okay, so Knepp able to convert his spare, so he'll start the 10th frame, looking to max out at 188. His opponent, Ayla, can shoot 180 with her handicap and 13. She'd be at 193, so we are separated by 5 pins entering the 10th frame. Austin comes up light, leaving the 2-pin, so now he can spare strike for 176. Will, if he marks here in the 10th, it'll force Ayla to get a mark also in the 10th. And he misses his spare as he had the 2-8. He takes the back end off, so it'll be 165 for Austin Knepp. So now Ayla pretty much needing just good count here which she gets. 9. With her handicap, she will need to make the spare. So at this point, she will need to make the spare to win. And she is able to cover the spare. So she'll max out at 160. With her handicap, it would be 173. So she is just going to need to keep the ball on the lane. Ayla, 10th frame.
Brandon makes his spare.
Ayla just needs count now to take home the title. And she gets it with a strike. So Ayla Harris is your handicap major champion, shooting 173 with her handicap. She defeats Austin Knepp with 165. Okay, I'm going to prepare awards, and I'll let Jason finish out the scratch side. Don't forget to stay tuned. We'll have interviews and final awards.
Strike for Parker in and lane 6 shut off again. All right, so Parker could still go out for 211, which would force Brandon to get 8 on his first shot. Anything less than depending upon what he would do in his second shot. So as we wait for them to get power back to lane 6. All right, so looks like we got power back to lane 6. So let's see what Parker could do. Let's see if he could throw the ball more like he did in the 6th. So he's gone 7 count, strike, 7 count. Couldn't get the ball through that hang spot, 3 out of his 4 shots. Definitely gave it more room, and that's what happens. All right, a strike here will make Brandon show up in the 10th. Well, he didn't like the shot very much, but it got to the dry. So with a strike here, he'll shoot 211, and as I said, we'll force Brandon to throw 8 on his first shot. Anything less than he will have to do work on his second shot. Actually, if he were to go 7 miss, it would be a tie. Okay, you see the difference. That ball was inside the 2 boards again, and it just went straight right through the break point. So that was kind of big. Now Brandon only needs, not even. All right, Brandon Bone wins 2 elimination matches and a stepladder match to take home major number 6. We will interview both Brandon and Ayla. And Houston is saying goodbye, as they've now given up 40 some odd straight points. All right, 227-208 victory for Brandon Bone. We will have Matt give out final awards, and then I will adjust the camera. Stick with us. Parker Lobach, runner-up, scratch division, $150 into his scholarship fund. Good job today.
Our runner-up finisher in the handicap division, getting a $150 scholarship certificate and award goes to Austin Neff.
Austin Knapp, runner-up, handicap division, $150. And now for our champions.
Okay, and our major champions in the scratch division, receiving a $300 scholarship certificate and the first place class bowling pin for major title goes to Brandon Bone.
Brandon Bone, your major champion. $300 into his scholarship fund.
And our winner in the handicap division, receiving a $300 scholarship certificate and the first place class bowling pin goes to Ayla Harris.
Ayla Harris, your champion in the handicap division. $300 into her scholarship fund.
All right, thank you everyone. Stay tuned in. We'll have final interviews with the winners. And we hope to see everybody in 2 weeks. That's our next PJBT. The mechanics control January 6th. Okay, have a great evening.
All right, let me adjust the camera. We'll stand.
Okay.
I put the camera in a place where we're going to stand.
Okay.
All right, so we are here with our handicap champion, Ayla Harris. Did I say that right, Ayla?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
today.
much.
Is this your first tournament title?
This is not. I
Not?
won the all-girls tournament like a year or two ago.
Okay, so this is the first time I've probably interviewed you. Then did I interview you for that one?
Yes, you did.
Oh, well, see, that just shows that my memory is for an old person is very, very bad. So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your first and major victory.
Yes.
How did you handle this PJBT pattern number 7 today?
I just try to stick to what I know and make sure if I throw outside, I throw slow so the ball hooks, or if I throw inside, I throw it faster so it goes on the lane faster.
Okay. All right. So take us back to the title match here. So you went open, and then you went spare, 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 open, strike, split, strike, spare, strike. Did you know you needed to spare first shot in the 10th?
I did.
Okay. Okay. Well, you threw a good shot there.
Thank you.
Pretty cool and calm.
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. 19. I wish I was 19 all over again. Where do you bowl out of?
I bowl out of Conchester, which is now Bolero Lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Cool. Mom's there. Mom, what is Mom doing?
My shirt, it says Bolero on it.
Oh.
She's
Well, it didn't necessarily. Could have just meant she likes to bowl and she likes to go Bolero. So
Right.
who's your coach?
My dad.
Your dad.
Thomas.
Yeah, I know him too. Who would you like to thank for this victory?
I think my parents for keeping me humble and teaching me that bowling is what you put into it and always practice. And of course, my little brother for always being here and supporting me.
Well, that's good. Well, little brothers are important, I guess,
Yeah.
to pick on. All right, so now you are automatically qualified for championship weekend at
Ooh.
Limerick. It's a little bit closer of a ride for
Yes.
you, you know, because that's still called Limerick. Are you taping this? Do you want me to you know? Okay. It'll be worth like $1 or more with my autograph. I don't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your champion today, taking home the $300 first place scholarship. Ayla Harris, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yep, we'll see you again down the road.
Yes, you will.
All right. I'll take your headphones.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon. The tall, skinny one. We're still good. All right, we are here with our Scratch Division champion,
Thank
Brandon Bowe. Congratulations.
Yep.
PJBT pattern number 7. How'd you attack it?
Well, the first game, I had a strategy going in, and then, well, I saw a few other people with a different strategy that was working pretty well, and I tried that for one shot, and, well, I got 0. So then I changed my strategy a little, and I changed balls, and then I just went back to the purple hammer and then threw that the rest of the day.
The purple hammer.
Yep.
Interesting, interesting. So, tell me, you know, you've been around the bowling circuit practically since you were in diapers.
Yeah.
Do you find a difference now bowling on these gold pins?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I know your family has experience on gold pins as well. You could tell us, since you're more of an expert than most of the people, bowling on pins that are a little bit heavier.
Definitely harder, man. You can't. It's harder to see them. It's harder to knock them down. Yeah. So.
Well, you certainly did a good job knocking them down. Let's take us through. So you had made it through 2 eliminators, and then you won a step ladder.
Yep.
You were neck and neck on a few of them for quite a while. In fact, both of your elimination matches, it was pretty close, at least through 8 frames.
Yeah, I got a few good breaks. I know the trip 6-8.
Yes.
On 5 and 6 game 1, and then the 2 cave-ins on the 4-6. They were pretty big. And then game 3, that 227, probably the best game I've thrown all day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have one shot that I threw that wasn't very good, so a couple ring and 7s, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were pretty
bowled
much
really
right
well.
around the pocket all three of your matches. I mean, you left a couple 3 pins, but
Yeah,
so
the first game on 5 and 6, I had a little trouble with my feet and where to throw it. But then I figured it out on 7 and 8 and just used it to my advantage on 5 and 6.
okay. So I don't really need to ask you who your coach is, do I?
Well, there's one person that I have to shout out.
Okay.
Jeremy Schaefer. So after our high school match a couple days ago, he helped me move my hand a little to the left and get more slow, and I'm going to say that really helped me today.
Yeah. Who is the better coach, mom or dad?
Oh. I know mom's probably watching. Dad, I don't know where he is or what he's doing.
Okay.
But you know, that doesn't matter. But
Yes.
I would have to say mom. She's home more often. She watches me a lot more.
But
And
speaking
even
of
though
that, where's Justin today?
well, Justin had the flu this past week.
Oh.
so-
Ugh.
Yeah, so
Ugh.
he's been home. But
All right. Well, if you haven't, is this your first title of the year or second? Second. So you
second
were
in this
already
building.
second in this building. That's
Yep.
right. That's right. So we're automatically qualified for championship weekend. So now
Yes.
you're doubly qualified for championship weekend. Who would you like to thank? Then we'll wrap this up.
I would like to thank Tom Burns and his dad for driving me here today. Definitely my mom for allowing me to come. As of last night, I wasn't supposed to come, so
Oh, well.
gotta thank her. Gotta thank Chris Forey for joining my balls and making them feel the best that they can, and that purple hammer for Christmas was, I'll just say, his dream come true. I've been wanting one of those for a while, and he gave me one of those for Christmas.
Yes, I guess it helps now that in the same family with each other, sort of,
Yeah.
kind of. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking home the $300 first place prize in the Scratch Division, your major number 6 champion, Brandon Bowe. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
We will see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I must have done a really good interview there.
Okay.
I must have did a really good interview. There was clapping.
How about that?
Yeah, all right.
You like that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, well, while we wrap the show up, just a reminder, girls only tournament next Sunday. Next Sunday, the girls only are at Town and Country Lanes, So that is next Sunday starting at 10:30 with Travis. And also don't forget the Hayden Mitchell Memorial for our adult bowlers will be
Yes.
at Colony Park North in York. Ironically, 2 events going on next weekend. I won't be at either one of them.
How about that? You're going to
That's
be bringing me back a
amazing.
souvenir.
I'll try.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm going to go get some sun. And then in 2 weeks, we will be at Trindle Bowl in Mechanicsburg for our next PJBT event, doubles event. That will be on Sunday the 26th.
Yes.
And don't forget to sign up online. Make sure you get your deposit in before a week before so that you get the discounted entry fee for the doubles.
Yes, very important because we will not be online next week for us to remind you.
Yes, correct.
All right, take us away.
All right, we will see everybody in 2 weeks from Trindle Bowl. So have a great evening, everybody.
See ya.